College is pretty stressful, Robbie?
You're telling me, man. Just so much work, but why are you asking?
Because, Roberto, live from Centennial College, it's the Journal!
Why are we doing someone else's intro?
Guys, what's going on? Hey, bud, what's up? What's up? Hey, what's going on? Hey, guys. Guys, what's going on?
Welcome to the Journal. I'm your host, Roberto Dicosta.
And I'm your co-host with the most, Anthony Sardinha.
You know, we've got some really exciting docs for you this week. You ready for a good old-fashioned plowing there, buddy?
Oh, you have no idea. Wait, what?
Our first piece.
Oh, okay. Wait, what?
Director Michael Winkie is here with a piece that shows up its snow easy job driving a snowplow.
Let's take a look.
My name is Dan Campitelli, and I'm a snowplow driver. Average day at work is the boss will call me maybe 4 or 5 hours before we go out. Say that we're going out at this time. This is the area that we're doing, or this is the place that we're doing. Try and get some rest. It's hard because you've been up all day. It's hard just to nap at 5 in the afternoon or something like that.
Get one medium hot chocolate and a double chocolate donut.
Tim Hortons is the savior. If I'm feeling kind of sleepy or something, I'll go in and I'll grab sometimes a hot chocolate or a chocolate milk, one or the other. If it wasn't Tim Hortons, I don't know what would keep me awake. And, you'll go to your site. You'll meet up with, I guess, one of your buddies or whatever that's in another truck. And then I guess you'll discuss what needs to be done by looking at the weather, and then off you go. Some challenges are, I guess, the centimeters of snow that falls. The more that falls, the harder it is, the longer you're out. I guess other than that, the weather. I mean, if you're plowing and there's a blizzard outside, it's kind of tough because you got the windshield wipers going, and it just could ruin your vision. And again, you might hit some things that you don't see on the road, or some signs or whatever. Right now, I'm with a company that doesn't have too many drivers, and it's kind of hard to do big areas and then houses at the same time. It's just like you're going back and forth, and then. Since there's not a lot of you, it makes your day a lot longer than it should be. Do I wish to do this for my future? Probably not. Fun, but I mean, I'd rather just keep it, sleep at night and working during the day. It's just easier. It's easier on your body too, and you have to adjust to that. And I mean, that's one of the things that's so hard about plowing is, I mean, you could be up during the whole day, and then all of a sudden your boss gives you a call saying you have to go out at night. I mean, if you can't, most likely you won't be able to sleep, so then you're up for a good 24 hours. And then if it continues to snow, then you get maybe an hour or 2 hours rest, and then you're back out again for another 8 to 10.
All right, Dan, take us to our next route. Okay. Ready? We're here.
Other people can get upset that you're placing the snow on their lawn or in front of, I don't know, people just have weird things. They argue about weird things. But I mean, at the end of the day, you have a customer that pays you or your boss money. You have to make them happy, and you have to make sure that everything is safe for them. You want to, for instance, if it's too high on each side of the end of the driveway and the customer backs out and can't see and gets hit, I mean, obviously that's a problem. So you're going to have to put the snow elsewhere. But other than that, I mean, I guess people say a lot of things about plowers, but I mean, we're out there trying to do a job. I mean, just like everybody else, and we want to make it as safe as possible. Best part of the job is going home. I mean, the drive home is just, it's long. The drive home is long. But once you get home, it's just, yeah, it's automatic out.
Wow, that was amazing. And I used to think that job was a piece of cake.
Speaking of cake, our next doc, produced by Janelle Heron, gives us a slice of the action behind custom cake making.
All right, I'm ready for a bite of that action. Let's take a gander.
My name is Rula Alexopoulos. Sweet Love Desserts is a home-based dessert catering company. We make custom-made cakes and any kind of desserts you want, pies, tarts, cookies, stuff like that.
Why did you start baking?
5 years ago, one of the companies that I worked for ended up closing down, so I found that I was actually only working 4 days a week. So I had a choice. I either had to find another accounting client or do some other work on that 5th day. So I decided, you know what, let's try something new for variety. So I've been watching all those Cake Boss shows and Ace of Cakes, and it looked like a ton of fun. I thought, you know what, I'd like to do that too. So I decided to turn my little hobby into a business. Year that I've been in business so far, I've probably done 30 to 40 cakes, and cupcakes, tons. I would probably say close to 2,000 cupcakes in the last year. When I started, it seemed to be mostly adults having parties, but in the last 6 months, now that I've kind of gotten into putting little critters and things on cakes, I've had a lot of small children's parties. Because now that I've kind of been exposed to kids' parties, people are going to kids' parties and wanting cakes for their kids' parties, so I've actually, the kid base seems to be growing a lot right now. Catalog of all the ones I've done. I made one that looked like a Dolce & Gabbana purse. That was probably my first cake that was shaped like something, and that was tough. It took me a long time, but it turned out really nice. I've made a cake that looked like a bingo card. I did the farm cake, which looked like, well, that was just round, but that was stuff on top. The slot machine cake was shaped. I'm doing a cake this weekend that is going to look like a football field, and mostly, yeah, that's mostly what I've done for shaped cakes. I've done a lot of fancy cupcakes too with strange designs on top of them as well. I love baking and cooking, and now I love decorating, and yeah, it's a great hobby and a good part-time job.
And who said making cake was easy as pie?
Well, we've looked at some baked goods, but how about we take a look at some baked musicians?
Those are my favorite kinds of musicians. That's probably why our next documentary, produced by moi, shows us the highs and lows of making dubstep. Let's take a look.
My name is Javel. I'm 21 and I'm known as DJ Lowstream. Dubstep is a form of different layers in songs. No matter what kind of song you make, there's different layers, as for example, guitar, piano, bass. Those are different layers depending on different instruments. Dubstep is a bunch of layers of riffs, and it's just sounds that are distorted in a way to kind of go with the beat. So it's an instrumental with distorted bass sounds, as people would call it, or drops. 4 years ago, I traveled down into the UK. In UK, dubstep is really big. I was just hanging out with family one day, and then they were just playing it like a street dancers, how we have break dancers here in Toronto. You know, they have their own beats. These people were playing dubstep beats to their dance, which that's what got me interested and started asking questions about like what kind of music do you put that under and so forth. About 3 years ago, there was a dubstep show that featured here in Toronto. It was down at the Metro Convention Center. Once that music started launching, a lot of people just started recognizing it more ever since dubstep arrived here in Toronto. They're only currently just touching the first layer of dubstep here in Toronto, pretty much. I think everyone would be interested in dubstep because the way I put it is, if you like music, you like dubstep, because dubstep is an instrumental to me. It's also not only an instrumental but a song, but like every song has an instrumental. And I consider dubstep not only, like I said, a song, but it's an instrumental into it. So I think people enjoy it in that way. I make dubstep because like everyone has their own favorite type of music when it comes to jazz, when it comes to, you know, rock or rap. And I just feel like it's my type of music, as in I love producing songs, not only just like making beats, but also producing music itself. And like that's what really got me interested into making dubstep in that way.
My name is Bernstein. I'm currently an employee at Vapor Central. Jovel was actually a customer of Vapor Central. He came up to me one day asking to change the music. He wasn't into the rap and the hip hop. He asked if he could play some dubstep. I said, sure, go ask the manager. He went to ask the manager. Manager said, with the greatest of pleasure. Unknowing to me that the music had actually been changed, he came up to me and said, how you like the music? I'm like, oh, it's awesome. He's like, yeah, it's my music. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, where'd you download it? He's like, no, I made it. And I was just blown away. I thought this was radio or some A-list, some sort of celebrity, a DJ like Avicii, or and it was Jovel. The shock that someone so young could be such into music, you know, blew me away. And I think we became friends instantly because of that, for his love of music and his passion and his drive. He has a love for the industry. And I actually see him taking that kind of form as this up-and-coming dubstep, reggae, hip-hop, alternative, whatever he's into. It's making it big in the music industry because his love and passion for what he does and the soul and heart that he puts into it. And my heart goes out to the kid, and I only hope the best.
Some people think DJs are all disco jockeys, but not all of them. I produce music to my taste, which I want, you know, other people to follow through from that. Somewhere down the road, I'd like to see myself performing on stage on a larger, more popular environment of knowing what that song is, what kind of music it is. It does get stressful to make music, and then when it does get stressful, but if you like to do it, just, you know, keep doing it, don't give up.
Looks like the latest leap in music evolution might just be a little step forward. A dubstep forward, if you will.
Stay tuned, we got more Journal coming up.
Life moves fast, and the last thing you want are regrets, so I enrolled here at the center. And let me tell you, I received more than just classes for my cash. Now, I have real experience to add to my resume. Take this commercial, for instance. Just one of many projects we all got to work on. See? We're working right now. The Center for Creative Communications at Centennial College is all about coming together to get ahead. All you have to do is have passion and live it. So that's my story. What's yours?
Welcome back. Hey, Anthony, you like animals, right?
Well, if they're glazed at the right temperature, then yeah.
Oh, I know what you mean, man. Just a steak with all the trimmings, but sometimes I could use something a little lighter, you know?
What, like chicken?
Thinking more like giraffes, dragons. Don't give me that look, man. Look, I'll show you.
Ooh.
We're here with my buddy, Ryan Opar, who knows a couple really neat tricks. Why don't you tell us what you're doing here?
Oh, I've just been hanging out all day making balloon animals for you guys, and we're taking requests from the chat line you guys got up, and I'll make you anything you like.
Yeah, you heard him. Just leave a suggestion in our chat room, and later on in the show, we'll be taking a look at our finished products.
While we're on the topic of the internet, let's introduce you to some comic relief. Director Corey Lantz profiles Lars de Souza as he draws you into the world of webcomics.
I am Lar de Souza, and I am one half of the creative team of Somer and Lar, and we do 2 online comics. Least I Could Do, published 7 days a week at leasticoulddO.com, and Looking for Group, which are Mondays and Thursdays at lftcomic.com. It's not that I don't dislike the title webcomic artist, but it's so often used in a very kind of cliquish way. When people say webcomic community, and they just sort of mean them and their group of friends, or their collective, or whatever. Or they're using it against people who are part of a collective. And I think it's a little bit of like, I'm a special snowflake. I'm a cartoonist, and other people are cartoonists, and they just happen to have their work published online. And I think it's better to accept that role than to somehow say I'm a webcomic artist as if it's something magical. Online is really easy. It's really versatile, and it's only gotten easier. The availability of code, the availability of blog sites and WordPress and Comic Press and things like that make it easier to publish online. In the beginning it was a little more interesting in terms of hosting and whatever, but now we have a full-time IT guy who handles the traffic, and we handle the hosting for a bunch of other webcomic people and advertising, and we've kind of grown with the net, as it were, and this community, whatever it is, of webcomics. So every Friday night that I'm home, which is when I'm not at a con, I'll hop online from 8 p.m. Eastern until about midnight, and I'll just work on stuff. I'll work on beginnings or merchandise, or I'll just draw for fun. And then about every 5 or 6 weeks I like to have what's called my spectaculars, where I take my art spectaculars, where I take questions. I get people email me their art questions, questions about Photoshop, questions about webcomics, just questions about how to draw hands, how to draw hair, something like that. And I'll spend some time on the Ustream doing my best to demo. I've reviewed software like Manga Studio, which is an excellent comic software. I've shown people my process on Photoshop, and it's just a fun kind of giving back, and it's almost like a mini convention because it's another way to connect directly with fans. This incredible friendship with Somer, and holding his son while he and his wife were there, visiting them in the hospital, sharing that moment with a friend I would have never met. Let's face it, he's like 15 years younger than I am, lives in Montreal, and is Jewish. I'm a fat old guy doing cartoons in Ontario who's Catholic growing up. Like, there's no way we would meet. And we met on the internet, and now we're best friends.
Looks like Mr. Lantz is looking for grades.
That was a terrible reference.
Oh, believe me, it's the least I could do. All right, speaking of underachieving, here's a piece by Alex Silva about video game addiction.
If you thought chasing the dragon was dangerous, try doing it with one life. Check it out.
Hi, my name is Richard Bagsh. I'm 19 years old. As soon as I was introduced to the video game, I just got straight into it. My first game I ever played was Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, so as soon as I got into that, I couldn't stop.
My name is Matthew Denemy. I'm the marketing manager at Game Bridger Entertainment. Gaming, I think, has much more addictive qualities because often those types of systems that inspire addiction are built into the game purposefully. For example, you have like leveling mechanics or character building mechanics.
We would play really late at night, and then I'd go to sleep like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, then have to wake up at 7 o'clock to go to school. I can juggle it, but I'm a huge procrastinator.
It's easy to lose a lot of time playing a game, I think. You know, you play something and it's engaging or engrossing, and then you lose a few hours real quickly. So I think that games can be difficult in terms of time management and organization. And like I said, there's certain addictive qualities that bring people back to games, which I think it's just a matter of prioritizing, you know, like anything.
All my friends like playing online, or I would assume so, because they're always playing with me online. I enjoy playing online with friends, or if they come over, we just play offline Call of Duty.
For students, I can imagine it's difficult. I think that the setting in which students live, like in dorm rooms, or that they're conducive to game playing, especially multiplayer game playing, like a LAN or playing with your friends within a dorm room, something like that.
Just got a chopper gun here, you know. They're all out in the open, so, you know, I'm just getting massive amounts of kills. 23 and 5, you know, done enough.
I'm an addict per se, since I play every day, but I'm not so addicted that I can't walk away and like not do anything else, like do any physical activities or go outside.
I think students are a large demographic that plays games, but I don't think they're necessarily targeting students insofar as like they're probably targeting a certain age range or a certain demographic, like males from 13 to 28 or something like that. And I think students just fall into that demographic. And like I said, I think they're more susceptible just because of their schedule. Students tend to have a lot of free time. So I think that students certainly make up a large part of the video gaming population.
Oh, we won. Check that out. 27 and 5, 5.40 KDR.
Oh man, I feel his pain. I haven't been able to stop playing with my joystick since middle school.
Stay tuned. We've got more docs coming up. And still to come, Ryan Opar. We'll BRB, so don't go AFK.
Advertising planner at BBDO, graduated from Centennial College in 2004.
I'm owner of McLaren Art Studios, and I graduated Centennial College in 2001.
Graduated from the Joint Journalism program at Centennial College in 2008.
It's not what it looks like. I designed this game, just another day at the office. Graduated from Centennial College in 2009.
Look past the piece of paper. Get real-world preparation and graduate with confidence to succeed. Centennial College, giving you the palette to paint your future with color.
You got this. Oh, welcome back, everyone. We're back here with Ryan Opar. Those look dangerous.
I don't remember seeing those in the green room.
Yeah, I'm going to be trying to juggle these in front of my face with no protection.
You're more of a man than me.
Guess we better get out of here.
Well, let's get back on track. We've seen some street performance, now let's see some street art. Melissa Mucio brings us a documentary about an artist who uses the world as his canvas. Let's take a look.
I go by Lewter, L-E-W-T-E-R. I'm 27 years old. With graffiti, as a young cat growing up, what are the rules that you're supposed to follow? You're not supposed to buy your paint. You're supposed to steal all your supplies. So another word for stealing is looting. Now that I don't, I wanted to live on with that. Like any art form, like you're gonna be a starving artist until you actually find your niche and can like run with that. A lot of people in graffiti, they kind of have their own style. With me, like I love trying new things. Every time I do a painting, I want it to be totally different from the last one. That's kind of what makes me different, is the fact that I try new things and I'm not afraid to experiment, so.
It's actually an old school, like a really old wall that used to be painted when I was little and like growing up. And the actual other two guys that are painting the wall with me, they actually are the guys I used to like look up to when I was little.
Well, when we were younger, that was our main spot we used to paint. That's where we used to practice all the time. Yeah, I like the pieces. I was just happy to paint at that spot again. It's a long time since we painted on the side there on Victoria Park.
Like, we're on a hill, we're in snow, in Scarborough, there's people yelling and people doing all this crazy shit. Fire trucks, police, everything. Like, I guarantee police will come here sometime today. But, like, we have a letter saying we have permission, so, like, they can't do anything. But it's just, like, the hassle, like, the amount of stuff you go through for, like, one painting. So, you go through a lot of stuff for your work.
My crew? We're a family. This is our 10th year, so 2001 we started.
Nah, he's my boy. We've done productions together, like backgrounds and stuff, but we always do our own names and then work on the rest together. Whatever, not too long ago, we threw a little graffiti jam downtown on the Queen Alleys, and we did a video game production, Earthworm Jim.
I try to be a people person. I try to be a businessman. If people are interested in my work and they want to invest in my artwork, I want them to leave happy. If you're young and you're getting into graffiti, then quit. Get into something different. You're gonna get yourself in trouble. You're gonna get yourself arrested. If you're not smart, you can hurt yourself. You could be climbing on the edge of a building and slip. I've almost been hit by trains. I've almost fell off of like high structures. Police harass you, especially when you're young. You won't even be doing anything wrong, but you just look suspicious, and you're gonna have a problem. Not trying to make it sound super negative, but there is a lot of negative things. But if you are into graffiti and it's not going to stop you, like it wouldn't stop me, then really analyze what you're doing. Don't do it for the moment. If you're in it for the long term, don't try to rush and make a big name for yourself. Practice at home, draw, get good, and then start doing murals.
That's impressive stuff. I used to do a little bit of graffiti myself back in the day.
Really? Why'd you stop?
I got caught after a friend kept tagging me in photos. Yeah.
I don't know why you would make all these horrible puns, but Candace Daniel knows her way around makeovers, which is exactly what this next piece is about.
This is Roya, a 20-year-old broadcast and film student here at Centennial College. Now, we all know that school can be tough. With homework, tuition, and life, fashion can easily slide down the list of priorities. But part of growing up is figuring out your own personal style, and hopefully I can help this young beauty do just that in this Makeover in Minutes.
So we're back with Roya here in our lovely color correcting suite, and we're going to talk to her a bit about her personal style. So what goes through your head every morning when you pick out what you're going to wear?
Well, I think comfort has become like this. What looks good feels good now, because jeans are comfortable. I can sleep in jeans. Tight dresses are comfortable. But,
so
yeah.
And you have a long commute on you too, right? So
yeah.
And where do you work again?
Work, coffee time. But don't tell anyone.
So that was Roya, cute as they come without a doubt. But now, here's what she'd look like if it were up to me, and she'd still be comfy too. Skinny jeans with lots of stretch, layers and silhouettes that flatter her great figure, and flats for the long commute. But now, on to hair. Rima at Margaret's Salon gave Roya's hair more movement by adding layers and using Velcro rollers in heat for more volume. As we can see, sometimes a little makes a big difference. As for makeup, Roya never wears it, but I gave her a little bronzer, blush, lip gloss, and mascara for fun. Now that's a makeover in minutes.
You ever get a makeover, Roberto?
I can't say that I have, no.
What about when you tried to make it over the border? High five!
Speaking of awkward segues, we're here with Ryan Opar again. So let's take a look at our finished pieces here.
We have our first 2 requests done. We have the Mama Winks.
Mama Winkie, yes.
Mama Winkie and Sister Winkie. We got a balloon and a rabbit for them.
Not bad, not bad.
Nice, nice. And what are some other custom stuff here you made beforehand?
I got a dog here,
Nice.
and
that kind of looks like...
It's a snake giraffe.
Snake giraffe?
Yep.
Kind of looks like a hockey stick.
It's my own creation. It's a
Yeah,
snake.
definitely looks like a hockey stick.
Yeah, speaking of which, Matt shows us the all-Canadian story about the bond between a hockey coach and his team.
My name is Arnold. The last name is Roberto. I've been here at Parkdale Flames Hockey Association volunteering for the past 20 years. I do it because for the kids. That's what I do it. I do it for the kids. I do it for other people, and it's good to volunteer for a league like this. The board members have been great for me, the coaches, the kids, the parents, and I go see select games here, go see select games there. And it's good to come here on the weekends and do something for the kids and do something for the community and see different people, see everybody happy. And as long as they're happy, I'm happy. As long as they're happy with me, I'm happy with them.
Yeah, Arnold, for the first time that I can ever remember, actually was walking around the arena, hacking and coughing and sneezing, and just all of a sudden he turned around and he says, "Guys, I have to go." And once Arnold left, it was kind of like people asking, "Oh, this and that, go see Arnold." "Oh yeah, that's right, Arnold's not here." So we kind of had to run around, and we were like a bunch of chickens with no heads on because we're so used to having Arnold there picking up the pieces.
I do the game sheets, I do the board outside, I make sure the dressing rooms are locked, make sure the team's in the right dressing room, and I coach the midget house league here for the Hogs. I come here, I'm happy because this is my second home, like they tell me this is my second home. It is true, it is my second home, and I'm glad when I come here. I'm happy when I come here. It's nice to come here.
Actually, a lot of people say that this is home away from home, but this is actually, in my opinion, Arnold's first home, and it's his first love.
I like to go behind the bench and coach and have fun with the kids. That's it, Mike! Stay back, Mike! Back it up! Go, Elliot! Back in! That's it! That's it, Miguel! Back up! That's a good job!
He's a great coach, always there for us, always dedicated.
Committed, gives us good advice.
Tells us what we do right, what we do wrong. Dedicated, here every morning in the dressing room, ready, keeping people motivated.
Even when we lose, he makes us feel good.
Lifts our heads when we're down.
And that's what the kids always want to play for me. And I said, listen, guys, you can't play. It's 3 teams in midgets here. You have to play for one team. You can't always play for me. As long as you're over there and you're having fun, win or lose, just play your hockey. Have fun every weekend. The kids score the first goal. I always say to the referee, it's his first goal. You can always get him the puck, give him the puck, and he's happy, and parents are happy, and everybody's happy. And I'm happy because he got his first goal and he wants the puck.
We've discussed it a little bit amongst some of the board members that we were thinking about perhaps coming up with the most dedicated player, thinking about calling it the Arnold Roberto trophy. And again, that's going back to the amount of time and effort that Arnold puts around here, and a lot of times Arnold's taken for granted. And I think that would be like a nice touch, just to show him how much we actually appreciate him. Parkdale without Arnold is kind of like a fish without water. So he's a very big part of the Parkdale family.
I will never forget the kids who played here for a long time. Never forget anybody here in this arena. As long as I live, I'll never forget this place for the rest of my life.
What a touching and fitting end to today's show. Thank you for everyone at home for tuning in to another edition of The Journal.
Tune in again next Thursday at 5 or next Friday at 4 for more documentaries and more of this crazy guy Opar here. For The Journal, I'm Roberto Dicosta.
And I'm Anthony Sardinha. You stay classy, Toronto.